Hello everyone, welcome to our class. I am Lakshmi Bachoria. As you all know that we are sending online videos for you to study at home and utilize the time productively. We hope you are watching the videos and learning from them. Today we are here with new subject economics, the part of social science. Basically, economics is the study of how society uses its limited resources. It deals with the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. So let's start chapter 1, the story of village Palampur. Topics to be covered are overview, village Palampur, factors of production, farming in Palampur, non-farming activities in Palampur. So here we will discuss about village Palampur. As you know, production is the key to a country's economic development. Production can be agricultural, like farming of crops, or industrial, like manufacturing of goods. Over 70% population of India lived in a village. So we have chosen Palampur as the place to study production. This is a hypothetical village. In reality, it does not exist. The purpose of this village to learn the basic concept of production and related story. Palampur represents a typical small village in India. Here, Palampur is well connected by weathered road. An all-weather road is a road that is trafficable in all weather conditions. Like metal roads are called as all-weathered road. During the rainy season, metal roads do not go out of use. So we can travel on this road in all season. So you can see here by this weathered road, Palampur connected with Raiganj and the same road continue to the nearest town of Shahpur. All kinds of vehicles play on this road of village Palampur. Here you will see by this weathered road, Palampur is connected with Raiganj and Raiganj is connected with Shahpur. You will find when you will travel Palampur to Shahpur, you will find an amazing mix of transport like tanga, bullock carts, bogies, motorcycles, jeeps, trucks, tractors are used to transport peoples and goods. Palampur village has about 450 families and as in most villages in India. About 80 upper caste families have well constructed permanent houses. The Dalit in the village comprise about 1/3 of population have small houses which made by mud and straw. Here you can see the upper caste families have permanent house. This is permanent house and the Dalit have small houses which are made by the mud and straw. Now, electric power. Most of the houses in the village have electric connection. Electricity powers all the tube wells used for irrigating crops and support local business activities. Now, we will talk about the education or health facility. Here, village has 2 primary school and 1 high school. Government primary health center and private dispensary. You may be surprised to know that in many villages in India, children walk several kilometers to reach their school. However, children in Palampur are lucky Palampur has two primary schools and one high school where children can study. The village has primary health center and a private dispensary where the sick are treated. You see, Palampur has fairly well developed systems of road, transport, electricity, irrigation, education and health facility. Now take a look on the production activities that people in Palampur engaged in like most villages in India. We use number of services and goods every day. All these goods and services are the part of production. Here we will discuss about the factors of production. The first requirement for production is land. Land includes other natural resources like water, forest, minerals. The second requirement is labor or workforce. Some tasks required hard manual labor while other required higher education and technical skills. So we need educated and uneducated person in agriculture. Now third requirement is physical capital. It includes machines, tools, money, raw materials. So here we will divide physical capital in two parts, fixed capital and working capital. Machines, buildings, tools can be repeatedly used for production year after year. So this is called fixed capital, and the raw material and money in hand is called working capital. Now the fourth requirement is human capital. Human capital is knowledge and efforts that is put into arrange other factors like land, labor and physical capital and start the production of goods and services. Thus, land, labor, physical capital and human capital are four factors of production activity. Now, next topic is farming in Palampur. So, here are the points which we will discuss in this topic. First, land is fixed. Way to increase yield. Modern farming. Will the land sustain? Land distribution in Palampur. Farm laborers in Palampur. Capital needed in farming. And sale of surplus farm products. So here we will discuss about land is fixed. In most Indian villages, main activity is farming. Around 75% working population in Palampur engaged in farming. The farmers totally depend on cultivation. The more production make farmers happy. So, how do we increase farm production? Well, there are two ways to increase farm production. One way to increase farm production is to increase the land area under cultivation. But land area under cultivation is fixed. There has been no expansion in land area under cultivation since 1960. As we know, land is a limited resources. We not just required for crops, but houses, building, industries, hospitals, public places, etc. Thus, it is difficult to increase land area under cultivation. So, we have two methods for increasing production. First, multiple cropping. So, here we will discuss about multiple cropping. Multiple cropping is the practice of sequentially growing two or more crops in the same piece of land during one growing season. For example, farmer grow jowar and bajra in July to September, that is rainy season. After harvesting jowar and bajra, farmer grow potato between October and December. After potato harvest, farmers sow wheat in winter season. Thus, these crops grow in a year. This method is called multiple cropping. In Palampur, farmers grow multiple cropping because they do not depend on rainy season. They have access to electric power, tubewells to irrigate their field. Now, learn about modern farming method. Production can also be increased using modern farming method for higher yield. Here, HYV seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, intensive irrigation, and farm machineries are used in modern farming. So, till the mid 1960s, farmer used traditional seeds which needed less irrigation but gave poor yield. They also used cow dung and other natural manure. Now, here you will see traditional farming. These are the traditional seeds, less irrigation, and cow dung, it means natural manure. Now I will tell you about the traditional method. Here the farmers are doing the traditional farming with the traditional tools. Now we will discuss more about modern farming method. The Green Revolution in the late 1960s introduced the Indian farmer to cultivate of wheat and rice using high yielding varieties of seeds, that is HYV seeds. HYV seeds promise to produce much greater amounts of grain on a single plant. As a result, the same piece of land would now produce far more quantity of food grains than was possible earlier. Tubewells are set up for irrigation here, and the farmer use pesticides, chemical fertilizers and HYV seeds. Farm machineries like tractor, thresher, harvesters are also being used as modern farming method. Now, I will tell you about the state, Indian state. Here is the map. Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh are the first Indian state used modern farming method and increase their production. Now, we will discuss about the negative impact of modern farming. Will the land sustain? In raising production, a great deal of pressure has been put on land and other natural resources. Groundwater, rivers and lakes are polluted by the way of using chemical fertilizers. Due to overuse of land and use of chemical fertilizers, soil fertility has been reduced. The fertilizers have killed the bacteria and microbes in the soil, reducing its natural fertility. Due to large amount of water required in modern farming method, the water level below the ground has reduced, impacting further the fertility of the soil. Now next point is distribution of land. The distribution of cultivated land is unequal in Palampur because out of the 450 families, 150 families are landless. 240 families cultivate small plots of land less than 2 hectares in size, whereas 60 families of medium and large farmers cultivate more than 2 hectares of land, and a few of them have land extending 10 hectares or more, which shows that medium and large farmers have more land though they are numerically smaller. This clearly shows the inequality in the distribution of cultivated land. According to this graph, a similar situation exists for India also, which means that 80% of the farmer, here you will see the first circle represent number of farmers and the second circle is represent cultivated area. Here 80% farmer cultivate 36% area, whereas 20% of the farmers who are big farmers cultivate 64% of the area, which again shows that there is inequality in the distribution of cultivated area in the case of India also as in Palampur. Now, here we will see the land distribution in Palampur. You can see here this scattered land is cultivated by the small farmer and the large area is cultivated by the large farmer, medium and large farmer. Now, next point, farm laborers in Palampur. So, we will discuss about the laborers. Farming requires a great deal of hard work. Small farmers along with their families cultivate their own field, but medium and large farmers hire farm laborers to work on their fields. They provide labor for farming activities. Here you will see small farmer doing farming under large farmer. Farm laborers come either from landless families or families cultivating small plots of land. Unlike farmers, they do not have a right over the crops grown on the land. They are paid wages by the farmer in the form of cash or in kind crop. A farm laborer might be employed on a daily basis or for a particular farm activity like harvesting or for the whole year. Now, next point, capital needed in farming. Medium and large farmers obtain capital from their own saving because they have large area for cultivation. They are able to produce surplus and sell it in the market, which fetches them capital for the next year's crop. Whereas the small farmers need seeds, fertilizers and pesticides, etc. For that they borrow money from the large farmer or the village money lenders or the traders. Here you will see the small farmer borrowing money from this man. He can be a money lender or large farmer. They give them loan with high interest rates. They also want these small farmers to work as farm laborers in their fields during the harvest season. It is quite difficult to get loan for the small farmers in comparison to the medium and large farmers. Now, we will discuss about sale of surplus farm products. Let us assume that farmers have produced wheat on their land. They retain a part of the wheat for the family consumption and sell the surplus wheat. Small farmers have little surplus wheat because their total production is small, and from this a substantial share is kept for their own family needs. The medium and large farmers supply wheat to the market, which the traders buy and sell it further to shopkeepers in the town and cities. Now, we will discuss about the non-farm activities. So here, non-farm activities are there: dairy, small scale manufacturing, shopkeepers, then transport. So here one by one we will discuss. Dairy. People feed their buffaloes with various kinds of grass, jowar, bajra, that grows during the rainy season. The milk is sold in nearby villages. Some people have set up collection centers from where milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. Now we will talk about the small scale manufacturing. Manufacturing in Palampur involves very simple production method and are done on a small scale. They are carried out mostly at home. This is mostly done with the help of family laborers, and laborers is rarely hired. Now, shopkeepers. Shopkeeping. Shopkeepers buy various goods from the wholesale market in the cities and sell them in the village. Small general stores in the village sell a wide range of items like rice, wheat, sugar, oil, biscuit, soap, toothpaste, pen, pencil, notebook, and even some clothes. Some families whose houses are closer to the bus stand have used a part of the space to open small shops. They sell eatable here. Now we will talk about transport. Rickshawalas, tangawalas, jeep, tractors, truck drivers, and people driving the traditional bullock carts and bogies are the people in transport service. They carry people and goods from one place to another and in return get paid for it. The number of people in transport services have risen over the last several years. Now, at this point, we have completed our chapter, The Story of Village Palampur.